I have heard rumors of a Mewtwo Eternatus team that was number one on the showdown ladder, or at least very high on the showdown ladder at the beginning of Regulation I, that featured Mewtwo Eternatus with Spiting Lu. And I did not believe it, but maybe it's to the credibility. I was looking through some of the open team sheets from the regional championships, and I came across this team created by Jamie that he used at the event to go 5-3, one of the best placements for Mewtwo ever at a regional, I think, in Generation 9. So we're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. This Mewtwo and Eternatus team is unlike any other stall team that normally uses poison, toxic spike stall, but this one instead stalls out power points. You heard me right. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Rocky Helmet Incineroar with the Intimidate Terra Grass type with Fake Out Knockoff Willis Party Shot. Okay, this is a very standard set with the Incineroar Terra Grass because you don't have a Spore immunity on this team and you run the Safety Goggles on the Tinglu, so having that Rocky Helmet extra damage on Incineroar can help break Focus Sashes from like a Chien Pao, punish Urshifu Surge Strikes, and more. So it makes a lot of sense. The Grass Terra type is to help out against the strong Water type moves as well as the strong Ground type moves that can really pressure Incineroar, and does give it a neutral typing to Body Press. With Intimidate to, of course, lower the opponent's physical attack to make the Pokemon on your side just tank the attacks better. Fake Out, great support. Knock Off for getting rid of items. Willis for Pokemon like really strong physical attackers like Calyx Ice Rider. And then Punish Shot, of course, to maneuver and lower the attack stats of your opponent. It's just a classic Incineroar. What can I say? EV Spread, it's pretty simple. This EV Spread does allow you to give the maximum chance that Incineroar has to survive a Surging Strikes from a Rapid Strike Urshifu that doesn't have like a boost or Terra, and the rest going into special defense. It's just an Incineroar that's just supposed to be able to tank attacks pretty well. Next Pokemon we have is the Assault Vest Rillaboom with the Grassy Surge ability with the Grass Terra type with Grassy Glide, Drum Beating, U-Turn, and Fake Out. Now actually a note, this team actually had knockoff on the original Rillaboom, and I replaced it with U-Turn because I thought it was U-Turn initially. I didn't look at the Rillaboom's moveset other than noticing it had Drum Beating and thought, oh, that makes sense. This one actually has U-Turn while the original had knockoff. I'm assuming knockoffs to help out more against like Lunala and the Shadow Rider, but then again I think Drum Beating is still fine because Drum Beating is doing a good amount of damage with the Grassy Surge boost. And yeah, I mean you could go knockoff to help out against Shadow Rider and do more damage to it, but I think Drum Beating U-Turn is fine because U-Turn is just a good pivot move in general. You have a pretty standard Rillaboom otherwise with Grassy Glide, U-Turn for pivot, Fake Out here. We have Drum Beating, which over Wood Hammer, but since the team is more about like stallish or stalling, you do have the Drum Beating here to lower the speed of an opponent Pokemon. That allows Mewtwo and Eternatus, which are fast Pokemon but they're more EV towards the bulk side, to be able to outspeed stuff like Shadow Rider, outspeed some Choice Scarf Mons afterward, and yeah, just more effective that Eternatus can go for the recover before they get like two really fast powerful hits off, and it just makes Shadow Rider dealing with it a bit easier because Drum Beating in a Grassy Glide still is able to punish, while at least Drum Beating can lower the speed. That could really affect Encore Shadow Rider because that could be a little bit tough, as well as like stuff like Screen Tail. Otherwise, the only interesting really thing to note is that as a Grass Terra type, just for an extra power, I assume, to the Grassy Glide, so it's able to finish off like some Shadow Riders if they get intimidated with the Rillaboom from an Incineroar. You still have powerful Drum Beating Grassy Glide that's able to punish. And yeah, that's the main idea of this Rillaboom. Dish out a good amount of damage and take hits. You have the EV Spread, pretty simple, of just max HP, 124 attack with Inanimate Nature, 124 special defense, so it's able to take the special hits still pretty well. Overall, it doesn't really need speed because Drum Beating, it's only to help out the restricted, it's mainly Eternatus Mewtwo, can help out the Fluttermane in some cases, but mostly it's just for those Pokemon, not really for the Rillaboom itself. That's why I think just having bulk, especially against Miraidons, pivoting into it, I think having bulk and attack is pretty important for dealing with Shadow Rider and Miraidon specifically. Next Pokemon we have is a Focus Sash Fluttermane with the Photosynthesis being a speed booster with the Stellar Terra type with Moonblast, Shadow Ball, Spite, and Protect. Yeah, it's Stellar Fluttermane, able to dish out a lot of damage with Moonblast, Shadow Ball, the speed booster Photosynthesis, because I think the Fluttermane would be running max speed, because unless you're also playing against a max speed Miraidon or other base 135s, I think it's just the best way to go. Get into the sun stuff as well. But yeah, this Flutter Mane is just very interesting, able to dish out a ton of damage with Moonblast Shadow Ball. And then Spite, it's an interesting move because Spite is able to reduce the amount of power points from your opponent's attack that they last used. So yeah, PowerPoint stall with pressure from Eternatus and Mewtwo alongside the move Spite, you could get rid of some very powerful attacks, especially when you think about a lot of the powerful moves usually have 8 power points. Like for instance, Astral Barrage, Glacial Lance, Water Spout, Close Combat. All these moves have 8 power points max. So if you're able to reduce the power points of these attacks, it can only go for like once or twice. And then you also can protect stall with Eternatus and Mewtwo. That way they just aren't able to fire off their really strong, powerful attacks. And then it's a lot easier to be able to stall them out that way because your Pokemon are still going to be able to tank the weaker hits that have more power points. Across the board, it's a Focus Sash Flutter Mane, so all it needed was special attack and speed. It's able to Revenge KO, still able to do a good amount of damage. Not much to say about this Focus Sash Flutter Mane. Next Pokemon we have is the Black Sludge Eternatus with the Pressure ability with Poison Terror type with Sludge Bomb, Recover, Cosmic Power, and Protect. Yes, this Eternatus can only go for poison attacks, and it's mainly for Cosmic Power, Recover, and Protect with that Black Sludge, the Grassy Terrain recovery. And Black Sludge is usually an interesting item because it heals poison types like it would be a Leftovers recovery. However, if it's a non-poison type, it will get hurt by the same amount of damage that it would initially recover. So it'd be a double-edged sword, but the fact that this Eternatus is running the Terra Poison to get rid of its weakness to like Dragon moves, which can be important against like Draco Meteor on a Miraidon, and also be able to fully resist Fairy, it can be very helpful because it doesn't matter in this case because Eternatus will still remain poison type no matter what. So Black Sludge, very helpful, and you can run Leftovers on something else like the Mewtwo on this team. Sludge Bomb for the damage, boosted by the Terra Poison, can actually add up to a good amount of damage. Chunks stuff like Incineroar pretty well, and just opposing Rillaboom, a lot of really good mons in general. It only doesn't work against steel types like Zamazenta and the Zacian, but with pressure and Cosmic Power, you could usually stall out those mons, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. And yeah, this Eternatus is meant to really just be able to tank attacks. And it has 196 HP investment because the HP stat 240, that gives it the maximum amount of Grassy Terrain and the Black Sludge recovery that it can get, and it really just stacks up over time. We have 164 speed with Intimidator. This allows the Eternatus to outspeed a modest Miraidon, so the only thing that would outspeed this Eternatus are going to be max speed base 135s, and that's pretty important. Otherwise, if they're 135 base speed with a neutral nature, like some POWs do run, sometimes Miraidons and Koraidons do run adamant, you could outspeed them, and it can be important so you can get a Cosmic Power or Recover before they get another attack off. Otherwise, the remainder goes into special defense since you do have Intimidate with the Incineroar, and a little bit extra into the defense. Next Pokemon we have is the Safety Goggles Tinglu with the Vessel of Ruin with the Bug Terror type with Payback, Whirlwind, Spite, and Protect. Yeah, this Tinglu is a very, very strange one, and I still don't truly understand it. But Safety Goggles, because you do have your Rocky Helmet taken by the Incineroar as well as the Assault Vest from Rillaboom, recovery item on the Mewtwo with Leftovers. It's not really too many items that the Tinglu would like. It would probably be only Covert Cloak or Safety Goggles. In this case, it's going to be the Safety Goggles for the Amoonguss Spores, which can be helpful, especially like Amoonguss Calyx Shadow Rider that's been popping up a bit more recently. So you're able to punish, go for a payback, and threaten the Shadow Rider. That Vessel of Ruin just lowers the special attack damage of all Pokemon on the field. It can affect your Pokemon, but more importantly, affect opposing Miraidons and Calyx Shadow Riders that can be pretty threatening. The Bug Terror type is to be able to resist the Zamazenta Body Press while being neutral to the Calyx Shadow Rider Astral Barrage. In the moveset, Payback, a move that does double in damage to a target if you have received damage from that Pokemon that turn, which can be the strongest dark type move you can get it from being hit by a Shadow Rider. You do have the Whirlwind, which can be disruptive in some cases and allow you to go for self Whirlwind in some cases. You can go for Protect, you can Whirlwind yourself, and then you could reposition, which can actually be helpful, but also like just disrupts any like setup strategies as well. Spite, again, same thing with the Flutter Mane, reducing the power points. That's kind of how this team works. They're stalling out the power points so they can't use their most powerful moves, and then Eternatus and Mewtwo are just able to tank the attacks extremely well, and then protect the Scout and keep the Tinglu around. EV Spread, it is just a lot of HP on the Tinglu with max HP, a good amount of special defense, and Impish with 76 defense. And overall, it's just a Tinglu that's supposed to take a bunch of hits, stick around on the field. What can I say? Final Pokemon, the star of the show, a Pokemon we don't really commonly see because it's generally outclassed by quite a few, namely the Calyrex Shadow Rider as well as the Lunala. But Mewtwo does have a very specific niche that it really does accomplish better on this role, which is the pressure ability. Matching with the Eternatus for power points, stalling them out. That is the goal with this Mewtwo. And it's pretty decently bulky because it has a good HP stat and the defenses aren't too bad. With leftovers and grassy terrain recovery, you're just able to heal quite a bit. The Terra Dragon type just helps out in being able to tank the water type moves, the fire moves, the grass moves, electric type moves, all of those genres that Mewtwo's just able to tank. Side Strike, a strong psychic type move, which is appreciated against poison types. So anything that resists the Eternatus Sludge Bomb, ideally you're able to hit with Mewtwo. The Aura Speel is able to hit the Incineroar and the steel types that are immune to the Sludge Bomb from the Eternatus. Life Dew as a recovery so you can keep your team just healthy and around. And then Protect, of course, this is a stall team. You're stalling out the power points. The EV spread, 212 HP does give a number of 208 for the HP stat, which is a number again divisible by 16, max amount of recovery you can get with Mewtwo from leftovers and grassy terrain. You are running Timid with 36 speed. This allows Mewtwo to outspeed a Landorus Incarnate, which I felt like the team kind of needs because you really don't have much for Landorus Incarnate in the damage dealing department. So you kind of need Mewtwo to outspeed and threaten it with 2 Side Strikes at least. I think that's pretty valuable. The special defense I felt like was pretty necessary because you do have Intimidate and you have Willis support from the Incineroar. So I think just being able to tank the attacks with the Mewtwo, tank like an Astral Barrage from a Shadow Rider can be pretty important. And that's what this Mewtwo can do if they don't have like a Life Orb or Terra Ghost boost. And then the rest just going into its defense. So how does the team work? Overall, it's a lot about playing patiently, being defensive, utilizing the pressure from the Mewtwo as well as the Eternatus to stall out the power points of your opponent's most powerful attacks, because if you are able to survive a few turns while withstanding those attacks, then they can't be fired back. You're able to heal with the Recover on Eternatus, the Life Dew with Mewtwo, the Grassy Terrain plus the Leftovers and Black Sludge combination. It just allows the team to stick around on the field while you can slowly chip away afterward against your opponent in general. So that is the main strategy here. You do have a few things for certain matchups. The Tinglu can help out in the Miraidon and the Miraidon Lunala matchup especially, or the Miraidon Shadow Rider matchup. You do threaten the payback against the ghost types. You have Spite, which can help out especially against powerful Draco Meteors and just any other powerful attacks, and Whirlwind to get rid of any supports. While the Flutter Mane also can go on a more fast offensive mode, threaten a powerful hit, but also has that Spike that can also power up again with the power point pressure stalling. That is kind of the ideal of the team. And yeah, you play a very defensive game with this team. And one thing to note, this team did do well on Pokemon Showdown ladder, which is different from the in-game ladder, because in-game you actually do have an overall game timer of 20 minutes. On Showdown, you don't have an overall in-game timer, so no matter what, the game will continue to go on until it actually is truly finished. And in that case, that means that Mewtwo and Eternatus, even if you're like at a super disadvantage, if your opponent can't finish you off and you're able to constantly chip away, even though you could timer stall in the actual game, yeah, like it's more powerful on that platform than it is in-game. We're going to be trying out and see if it can actually work on cartridge or not. And I'm not sure who originally created the team. All I know is a player known as Chen did use this to go 5-3 top 128 at the Utrecht special event. That's the only information I have about this team. I don't know anything about socials. I don't know who created the team originally. All I know is that is the only information I had on this team. EV spreads are recreated. We're going to be trying out. If you want to check out the details of the team, they'll be linked in the description down below. And in the comments, man, what do you think about Mewtwo? And also, are you going to be getting a Nintendo Switch 2 on launch? Because this video should be going up Wednesday, which means that the Switch 2 will be coming out on Thursday tomorrow. So let me know if you're going to get it on launch. I'm going to try and see, because I did not get a pre-order successfully. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get started and play some games. Miraidon, Zamazenta, Miraidon, Zamazenta, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Pelipper, and a Wo-Chien. Interesting. Wo-Chien, Miraidon. Definitely seems like a cool combo, actually. How am I performing against this team? I don't think Flutter Mane does much. I could see Ting Lu putting in work. Incin's not really that helpful against this team. So it might be Ting Lu. The problem is this Ting Lu set is really strange. And I mean really strange. Like Spike could help, but I guess if I stole out the body presses from the Zama, they can't really do much. But I can't do much damage back to them. That's the problem. Like, I really want to try out Spike Ting Lu here, but I have no idea if Spike actually does anything. Like, does it accomplish anything? I just don't think it does. I think I'm going to bring Mewtwo. Or do I bring Mewtwo actually? No, I think I bring Eternatus. Eternatus is good with Rillaboom. And then in the back, I'm going to do Mewtwo. And you know what? I'll bring the Ting Lu anyway. I'm going to try the Ting Lu. Because having a switch into Draco Meteor, reducing the damage, is actually pretty nice. It is pretty nice. I want to Sludge Bomb the Grimmsnarl right away because that mon is a pain. That mon is a pain. Incineroar, Zamazenta. Okay, so this is a great Eternatus lead here. Unfortunately, it's not the best lead for my Rillaboom, but it's manageable. Do I want a Cosmic Power immediately, or do I just want Sludge Bomb? I kind of just want Sludge Bomb damage. Also, my Rillaboom was faster than their instant, so that's good to know. I think I'm just Sludge Bombing going to Mewtwo. As long as it isn't knockoff, I should be fine. But Rillaboom's really important because I'll need the grassy terrain. But also I do need the... Yeah, I mainly need the grassy terrain for Miraidon. I figure out my Eternatus, which is fine because if this body press, this is super acceptable. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so Mewtwo, pretty good position. I probably can just protect the Mewtwo and click a Sludge Bomb into the Incineroar slot. They don't have switches to Sludge Bomb. I don't want to risk a knockoff into the Mewtwo because that would do a ton of damage. Or do I? I could. Because they could also knock off my Black Sludge on the Eternatus. But I think Sludge Bomb Protect is fair. Because losing my Black Sludge on Eternatus isn't the worst thing. I don't think it's the worst thing, at least. We'll see. Terra-wise, I'm probably... Who am I going to Terra? I could either Terra the Eternatus or I could Terra my... I don't think I Terra the Mewtwo. I could Terra the Ting Lu. I don't think I ever Terra my Rillaboom. So I think it's one of Eternatus or Ting Lu. Zamazenta going to retreat into... Wo-Chien. Okay. I mean, I don't really mind Wo-Chien because it doesn't really do too much. As we protect the Mewtwo, is this Parting Shot or is this knockoff? We'll find out. If we get a Sludge Bomb poison, that would be beautiful. Good damage on Incin. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. Now I should be able to double up the Incin with Sludge Bomb or a Spear. And if they decide to commit to Terra Ghost, I think that's an okay trade. I think it is at least. So I will go for Aura Spear plus the Sludge Bomb. Let's see if they Terra, because that's the big question. I feel like you would want to save Terra on potentially the Miraidon, but we'll see. Incineroar are going to retreat, so whatever's coming in is taking a good amount of damage. It's probably back to Zamazenta. Yeah, that's fine. I get good damage onto the Zamazenta. I failed a Sludge Bomb, but I do get the Aura Spear off into the Zamazenta. Big damage. Big damage. Foul play. Does some hurtful damage to the Mewtwo, but my Mewtwo is pretty safe here. Alright. I don't see a problem going for a Sludge Bomb into the Wo-Chien. I do want to protect my Mewtwo. Because, like, they can't really do much to Eternatus. That's the thing about Eternatus. It's kind of sticking around and just doing chip damage because they don't have, like, one of the Psychic restricted. So, right now, Eternatus is pretty safe position just to keep firing off Sludge Bombs and consistently getting good damage across the board. Zamazenta is not going to accomplish much. Trying to figure out how I position against the Zamazenta retreats. Is this Miraidon? Yeah, it is Miraidon. Okay. Miraidon comes in. Again, Aura Spear off. Or a Sludge Bomb off into Wo-Chien. Or they protect, which is fine. Okay. I think I should commit to Terra. And I think the Terra would be my... Eternatus. Because Sludge Bomb's looking really good. Because they don't have a good switch other than the one Pokemon that they have. Then again, Draco Meteor's kind of scary. I guess there's nothing wrong with going for Protect and go into Rillaboom. They don't super punish that. I'm just worried about Volt Switch plus Foul Play, I guess. Double up into the Mewtwo. Which isn't the worst. But I obviously lose a lot of momentum. But if they don't have the Miraidon on the field, they never pressure my Eternatus. My ideal situation is that they go for Draco Meteor into my Protect. And then I get to go out in a Tinglu the next turn and go for like Terra Poison Sludge Bomb. I'm only having Cosmic Power to set up against the Miraidon because I don't want to deal with the Leech Seed and then switch out from the Wo-Chien because I don't think that's great for me. We protect the Wo-Chien. Is this Volt Switch? Yep. Okay, that's fine. Sludge Bomb's going to do some good damage. Do they Pollen Puff here? They Pollen Puff. That's all right. Incineroar. Sure. Because I do have the faster Fake Out. Leech Seed. Nice. Okay. This is not bad. This is not bad. So they have to read whether they Pollen Puff or not. I'm kind of curious if they actually do commit a Terra. But then again, a lot of instants aren't Terra Ghost anymore. So I should be able to fake out Sludge Bomb. Because the Wo-Chien has to be worried about taking a Sludge Bomb as well. And everything other than, I guess they could go Zamazenta here for the instant slot. If they go Zamazenta for the instant slot, that makes sense. But nope, I do get the fake out off. And that means I get the Sludge Bomb off as well. Really good damage. They went for Leech Seed, sure. This should always be Zamazenta for the Incineroar slot, I think. I think I'll play a big aggressive here. I'm going to go Tinglu, and I'm going to go for a U-turn into the Incin. I don't think I have any place I could be punished here other than if they knock off my Rillaboom slot. Because I think they all... But the thing is, do you want to risk the Sludge Bomb here? Because if I get the Sludge Bomb off, they're in bad shape. I'm trying to figure out who they Terra. Because like, I'm just trying to figure out, show me who you're going to Terra. Like, who do you want to Terra in this matchup? It kind of makes sense it's not Incin, because if it's like Terra Grass or something like that, then Sludge Bomb is just always threatening it. Like, and I guess if they don't have Ghost, which is again not as common as it used to be, there are a lot of them are bug type now, it would work out immensely for me. So we bring out the Tinglu, and I'm thinking Protect and switch to Zama. Yep, the instant switches out. This should be Zamazenta. Beautiful. Called it. Called it. It was just super safe for them because if I didn't U-turn the instant slot specifically, it was troubling. And U-turn is like so tempting into the Wo-Chien, which is why I felt like this was the best spot here. Now we go out into our Eternatus. And we can throw off a Sludge Bomb into the Wo-Chien. There's no way they body press, or I mean, no way they foul play my Tinglu. I think the play is to go Mewtwo because Mewtwo absorbs the attack, and I want to do more Sludge Bomb damage to the Wo-Chien. So let's see if I'm correct here. I guess this is a risky play technically, but I think the risk reward is very worth it because the Sludge Bomb extra damage in the Wo-Chien is pretty nice. Yes, I guess Sludge Bomb off in the Wo-Chien, that's really good damage. No poison, but Body Press gonna come out. Does nothing to Mewtwo because it doesn't have to boost anymore. They do just Leech Seed the Eternatus, and we're in pretty good shape right now. They also had 3 Fighting Awakes against my Aura Spear Mewtwo, so Aura Spear Mewtwo will be coming in clutch. Do I just want to Terra Dragon my Mewtwo? Probably not. Trying to think about how I want to position this. Because the Wo-Chien, yeah, I got a lot of recovery off that attack. I could Sludge Bomb or Spear here. Actually, that would KO. But they saw that I've had these attacks. I'm just waiting for them to commit their Terra. I just want them to commit their Terra really badly. I kind of want to target the Zamazenta because the Zamazenta is just not doing anything right, so it might switch out here. I'm going to Sludge Bomb the Zama. Okay, we catch the Terra, which is fine at least. So we do see their committal Terra on the Wo-Chien, and it's going to be Terra Poison. Okay, so now it's weak to Side Strike from Mewtwo, which is actually really nice. Okay. So I think the game plan is to Terra my Mewtwo. I'm not a huge love of Terra Dragon to Mewtwo here because Body Press will do a decent amount, but yeah, they Body Press my Eternatus actually, which is smart of them as they go for Foul Play into the Mewtwo. Okay. Oh, we've seen Protect, we saw Leech Seed, we saw Foul Play. I don't think we've seen Pollen Puff. I could probably go Rillaboom for the Eternatus. Yeah, this Wo-Chien is just healed up so much HP. So much HP. It's a long game. It is a long game. Grassy Terrain ends. It's actually kind of perfect timing. We're gonna go for a Aura Spear into the Zamazenta. I could go Tinglu. No, I don't want to go Tinglu here. That's the thing. I think I want to make sure I threaten the Zama at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna Aura Spear the Zama and just switch out into Rila. Body Press plus Foul Play is the move I'm really threatening here, and this is where it's going to punish me for not running 0 attack IVs on the Mewtwo. This is where it's going to punish me for because I have 31 IVs. Which actually matters because this might mean Foul Play KOs me, but we'll see. Gonna bring out the Mewtwo Terra Dragon here. We'll figure it out. If we can get rid of the things around the Wo-Chien, I can start turning down. Alright, no protects. Aura Spear does a good amount to the Zama. Behemoth Bash. They should live a Foul Play. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay. Nice. Tricky, but manageable. We've gotten good damage on the Instant and the Zama. I think we go for Life Dew here and we go for Fake Out into Wo-Chien. Because then I could go for Protect U-Turn, and if they decide, hey, I'm going to Protect, I'm fine. Is this Incineroar? All right, on, that's fine. I can go Tinglu, which is good. Yeah, and if they protect, I get a free life dew, and then I can protect. So that's one of the benefits of not clicking protect immediately, is because of the fact that I life dew recovered. I get good amount of HP while having access to protect the next turn. So this is good. All right, nice. Now, if they Draco Meteor immediately, that could be an issue, but it has to be in a Rillaboom, and the Rillaboom should survive one Draco. So we're going to protect, and we're going to go for U-turn into the Miraidon. They already Terra, so I don't have to worry about Dazzling Gleam because it's not going to do too much damage. I can always repeat a switch to Rillaboom. If they Volt Switch, that's fine. I get more chip. We're going to see the Wo-Chien actually retreat. Is this instant? Yeah, instant comes in. That's fine. Okay. As we do protect our Mewtwo, because we cannot risk the Mewtwo here. They do Draco Meteor and they target the Mewtwo. Excellent. Okay. Oh, this actually has an interesting consequence, actually. I'm going to go Tinglu. Health on Rillaboom doesn't matter as long as Rillaboom's around. So what's interesting about this spot is they have exactly 8 power points of Draco Meteor. With Spite into the Miraidon and the switch to Rila, I think I could just narrow it down to where I don't have to worry about this ever. Yes, I'm going to Spite the Miraidon and swap here. They're probably just going to fake out anyway, but like I still think that this is definitely worth a position here. So Rillaboom comes in. Unless they double the Rillaboom slot. Did they double the Rillaboom slot? They did Draco Meteor. Is this Flareless as well? I mean, it did no damage to my Rillaboom. That really did no damage, actually. Hey, Willis. Okay, perfect. 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 Because I spite the Miraidon and I actually get to use this move. So I get to spite the Miraidon. And now that Draco Meteor power points, like, they lost 3 power points. So that was 5 Dracos that they've used so far. Or no. 1 into Rillaboom, 3 from the Spite, so that's 4. And then they used 1 in Mewtwo, so that's 6. So they only have access to basically 1 Draco Meteor left. Now we're going to go for a fun play, which is we're going to click Fake Out into the Rillaboom, and we're going to Whirlwind our Rillaboom slot. Because this prevents the instant from moving. They stay in with Miraidon to drop a Draco? Oh, they're not choiced. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I was expecting the Miraidon switch. They just got extra Volt Switch damage, and they got to showcase, hey, I'm not Specs or... Yeah. I was about to say the Draco Meteor was really weak. The Zalmacentus coming in, perfect. And now the Aura Spear going to come out into the Incineroar slot, which is really nice. Or I get a Sludge Bomb. Depends on who I get in. Is this Mewtwo or is this going to be my Eternatus? Ideally Mewtwo, but Eternatus, that's fine. Yeah, because we just heal back so much HP. We got to go for a Sludge Bomb and a swap here. And I'm pretty sure Sludge Bomb KOs the instant. I guess if they go Wo-Chien, I mean, that's why I'm doubling out on Mewtwo. Covers that switch. We go for Sludge Bomb. We swap out into Mewtwo. Wow, there's only 3 minutes left in this game. This game has gone on for a while, man. I mean, all of these games are going to with this stall kind of tactic, but Incineroar going to retreat. This is Wo-Chien. How am I looking at power? I don't know. Oh, wait, they went hard Miraidon. That's really interesting, actually, that they went hard Miraidon. Because I get a free Sludge Bomb into it, and that's kind of massive. Even if they get a Body Press into, what was the Tinglu slot? Like, this HP is adding up. Oh, it's a Assault Vest Miraidon. Body Press does a lot to Mewtwo because it doesn't resist anymore. I have no idea who wins this. I actually have no clue who wins this. I think I double protect here, but I'm trying to figure out, like, did I do enough HP? The Wo-Chan's at full, right? The Instin's low, at least. I can't tell who wins this. I mean, I think I double protect here, always. Because if they go for Draco Meteor, they're out of Draco Meteors, which is massive. Because it means my Eternatus is safe to attack. Body press. That's a slow Miraidon. Went for Volt Switch, okay. Into Mewtwo. Mewtwo goes down to body press. Actually, do I have enough time? I think this gives me the best odds of winning because timer is now gone. I don't know who wins on timer. I think it's me because I have a full health Eternatus and almost full health Ting Lu, but I'm not 100%. I should have enough your time to seal this win. Let me think about what I would do anyway. I would Sludge Bomb the Miraidon and swap to... I think it'd be Rila. Right? Or is it Ting Lu? Well, the thing is, I give them recovery. No, it'd be better to go Ting Lu, right? I think it would be. I think so. Let's see. Okay, battle is over. And we did win on HP. That was a long one. That was a long one. But should I be surprised with the nature of this team? Yeah, no. I should not be surprised. Definitely a tough one. They were managing like their HP numbers super well. The Wo-Chien was more difficult to get rid of. I think I could have probably found some aggressive turns to probably try to get rid of it earlier. I mean, on pace, like I was in a good spot, but the problem is your time's kind of weird because obviously I was in the HP lead. But at the same time, like I think my position was good because even if I had to take a lot of damage with the Ting Lu, the problem is the number of turns how it worked out just put me in such an awkward spot because I think even if I took HP damage on the Ting Lu, switch in on a body press or a Draco Meteor, I think I'm still in a pretty decent spot. But timer is just that kind of thing where because even though I might have been in a good spot in the next couple of turns, HP wise, they would have told me no. Incineroar, Calyx, Shadow Rider, the Amoonguss, Raging Bolt, Xianpao, and the Zamazenta. So this is going to be a bit of a strange one here because they do have Shadow Rider, and I'm trying to figure out if it's Nasty Plot or if it's Encore because that's going to be a big difference. That is going to be a big difference here. I don't have the best ways of getting rid of the Amoonguss, unfortunately. And I don't think I'm going to bring Ting Lu into this matchup because I don't think Ting Lu is that good here. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that good here. I think I want to go with... I don't think Flutter Mane's that good. Is it... I don't want to lead Incineroar or Rillaboom. I don't think that's a great combo. I think it's Incineroar and Eternatus. Or Incineroar Mewtwo. Because if I stall out Astral Barrages, I think that's good. I think I lead Incineroar Mewtwo. With Eternatus in back and Rillaboom. I want to bring the Ting Lu. It's tempting, and I mean very tempting. Because Safety Goggles with Payback would actually be decent here. But the problem is... I don't know if it's worth it or not. I just don't think it's worth it because their Zamazenta is just such a pain. So we'll see. Amoonguss, Xianpao, okay. So Instin's a good lead here, which is nice. I like the idea of just going for a Will-O-Wisp immediately. Wait, the Sword of Ruins giving me a powerful Psy Strike. That is an option. I could fake out, but I think to place a Willow. I think Protect Willow is fine. I'm gonna go for Protect and Willow. They go for Protect. So I wonder if the Spore is gonna go into Mewtwo or if the Spore is gonna go out into Instant, or is this a double Protect from the opponent? Because double Protect makes sense too, in my opinion. Let's see. Okay, it's double Protect. That makes sense. Okay. I want to say Mewtwo lives one crunch because I have a lot of defense and that Intimidate should have paid off. I think I'm going to go for a knockoff into the Amoonguss, and I'm going to go for Psy Strike into Amoonguss as well. Yeah, I'm going to double it. We see a Terra. Is this Stellar Terra or is this Water Terra on the Moon? Water Terra on the Moon makes sense. Okay. Oh, Dark Terra. Okay, so the Shadow Rider can't Terra. This is going to be interesting. As Rage Powder. Okay, that's good for me at least. Rage Powder is so much better than what could have been. Go for Sucker Punch. I mean, I knew I would... Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised on that damage because I did expect to survive, but yeah, like, jeez. We get the knockoff into Amoonguss to get rid of the helmet. Okay, so that's actually useful here. I think if that's the case, I need Mewtwo to stay healthy because I need 2 answers to Zamazenta. I think this play is just to go for a Parting Shot into the Amoonguss and go for Protect. Yeah. Because the POW is going to Protect, which is fine. I guess I could have went for Aura Spear, but this still works out because I'm going to be able to put on pressure against the Amoonguss. I go out into Rillaboom so I don't get punished by Spore. Only way I get punished is by Sludge Bomb, which is not ideal, but could be still fine. But yeah, we go out into Rillaboom. And then the rest is going to be an interesting one. Room Beating will do a lot to the Amoonguss. Okay, Pollen Puff my... Okay, Pollen Puff over Sludge Bomb's good for me here. Okay, nice. I'm curious if they go for Crash or not. Instant is a generally safe play. Do I need Rillaboom healthy? I don't technically. Is it nice? Absolutely. Is it necessary? No. I could fake out the POW. POW just protected. I could fake out Aura Spear, which isn't awful actually. You know what? Yeah, fake out Aura Spear isn't awful. I think I'm gonna go for it. Don't tell me you're switching to Shadow Rider. If you're switching to Shadow Rider, I should Drum Beating. This might be Zamazenta. Okay, that makes way more sense. Okay, that made way more sense. Okay. So this is fine, even if I take the Spore, because like Mewtwo should be recovering the HP decently well, and we get damage into the Zama, which is actually pretty nice here. Oh, they went for Pollen Puff. Oh, that's actually really good for me, because Mewtwo absolutely tanks it because we did get that Parting Shot off earlier. Okay. And then we'll heal back with this Leftovers, Grassy Terrain. This is not a bad position. I think now I would probably want to go out into Eternatus for my Rillaboom slot. And we're going to protect our Mewtwo, so we can get the Leftovers Grassy Terrain recovery while also not going down to Body Press. And I think we want to go down to Heavy Slam, but just in case, we go out on Eternatus. It's just such a safe play here. Okay, protect the Zamazenta. Okay. This double protect. They saw that I have Aura Spear. Maybe they're worried about Terra Fighting. They did attempt to Spore my Mewtwo. Okay, that works. And now that I have both my Zamazenta answers in, I can go for Aura Spear and I can go for a Sludge Bomb into the Amoonguss, which I don't think KOs nearly at all, but it might be worth. Because I do need to damage into this Amoonguss. So I am just going to double up the Amoonguss. If they protect, a Zamazenta doesn't really do too much. Sludge Bomb, that's a good amount of damage. Behemoth Bash, shouldn't KO. Yeah, it doesn't. You do get the Aura Spear off. Yeah, it doesn't KO Amoonguss. They spore my Zamazenta. Okay, that's fine. Or my Eternatus. All right. So these are not bad turns here. These are not bad turns. I think the upcoming is going to be the questionable ones. I want to read the POW come in because I think POW should come in for the Zamazenta slot. But I don't think it's worth ever. I don't think it's ever worth to read. I think it's just Sludge Bomb and Protect. Because I need this leftover grassy terrain recovery. Yeah, they retreat the Amoonguss. Is this POW? Oh, Calyx. That works too. Okay. Still a tricky spot. Still a tricky spot. Because now I'm threatened by the Astrals. Yeah, the Behemoth Bash into the Mewtwo. Now they're going to threaten Astral Barrage. They could go for Psychic, but that's alright. Problem is these two restricted next to each other are going to be a bit tough to deal with. Because they should Astral Barrage and Body Press. This is really bad, actually. This is really bad. Because I don't have a Terra that stops here. Can I afford to sacrifice the Mewtwo here? Probably. But the problem with Mewtwo going down to the Astral is they get a +1 boost with the Calyx, which is really not good for me. I don't think the instant play is correct, but maybe I just go for them hoping that they don't body press the Mewtwo slot. Because they could Behemoth Bash again. And if they Behemoth Bash, that would be ideal. But I need to break the Sash on the Calyx Shadow Rider. Since it's Life or POW, I should be Sash on the Shadow Rider. Eternatus... Wait, did I click Protect or did I click Sludge? I thought I clicked Sludge. Why is that... Why is the Shadow Rider slow? Why is that Shadow Rider so slow? What? That's a slow Shadow Rider, and I mean really slow. It's slower than their Zamazenta. I think I'm just gonna go for Recover, and I'm gonna fake out the Zama here. Why is it so slow? If the fake out doesn't matter. I do wake up, which is important because if I didn't get the Recover off, Psychic definitely KO'd me. All right, did they Astral again? Yep. That's ideal. Oh, it's Specs. Oh no, it crit me. I was like, it didn't do that much damage the last time. Is it actually Specs? No, I don't think it's Specs. Okay. The problem is I do not see how I'm breaking through this combo. I am legitimately stumped on how I finish this off. I have to sack instant here, which is really bad, but I have to. I have to get a free switch to Rila so I can start threatening the Shadow Rider with Grassy Glides, and then maybe I can find a comeback. It's like really rough. They body press my instant. Oh, this is single target Astral too. On the bright side, they are using a lot of their Astrals, which means Mewtwo actually does have a chance. Oh, they lock me into Encore. But why are you slow Shadow Rider? So they've used how many Astrals at this point? They've used a lot of them. I think the play is just to go Rillaboom and click Protect. Let's see if they... I hope that they body press double up my Mewtwo this time, but it's such a weird game. It's such a weird game. We bring out the Rillaboom. Yeah, no, this combo is way more difficult than I have realized. Mainly it was because the Spore. Getting the Spore off was massive. They went for Behemoth Bash, okay. The Astral. Oh, they have Pollen Puff. Oh. That makes things awkward. They don't have a Drum Beating switch. I'm trying to think of, okay, what gives me the best odds? Do I Terra Grass or not? I think I just Drum Beating normally because they'll put in Grassy Glide range. And then we swap to Eternatus. Because if they go for Astral and they only have one more left, I think. Let's see. Bring out the Eternatus. I'm also going to be faster, which is nice. They go for the Body Press into Rila. That does so much damage, but they Pollen Puffed. They now PowerPoint up their Astrals? Or are they worried about Terra Normal? I do get the Drum Beating off. That's really good damage into Calyx. Okay. I'm pretty sure Grassy Glide Sludge Bomb always gets me a knockout on Calyx, but the Calyx should... This position is just so weird. I think they should switch out the Calyx. I'm gonna get my Cosmic Power up. Actually, no, I should Sludge Bomb here. Yeah, I'm gonna Sludge Bomb. I think the Calyx should retreat because they're worried about Grassy Glide. Yep. Probably the Chien or Amoonguss makes sense too. Okay. We have fought back into a usable position. This is a usable position. Bring the Mewtwo back in. And we get a Sludge Bomb off into the Amoon. Good damage. Body Press. Alright. Alright. Look, it's tough, but it's manageable. I'm going to go for a Life Dew for recovery with Mewtwo. And I'm going to Sludge Bomb the Amoonguss slot because the Amoonguss slot is always pinned by Sludge Bomb. So here comes the Sludge Bomb the Amoonguss's way. The only problem is the Shadow Rider is still an issue. I wonder if Side Strike plus Sludge Bomb can get the Shadow Rider at the range it's at, because the Shadow Rider is just slow on their team. So I should be faster with both Pokemon. The question is, do I knock it out? Because I have 2 double resisted moves. Oh, we'll find out. They retreat to Zamazenta, which means their Body Press is going to be a lot weaker. Wait, this is good. This is good. Okay. Wait, this is actually really good. Okay. Because I went for the Sludge Bomb and I went for the Life Dew. Are they trying to go for Timer? They might be. Timer is ticking down. I'm pretty sure they only have 1 Astral left. So I think Amoonguss is retreating here into Zama. There's no way you're out of Astrals. Well, if they are out of Astrals actually. If they only had 5. This is why you should always PowerPoint up your moves, kids. By the way, yeah, Amoonguss is switching on to Zama. Yeah, that was obvious, so I'm glad I Sludge Bombed the Calyx. The question is, what did Calyx go for? We protect the Mewtwo. Yeah, Sludge Bomb off. Actually does good damage. Oh, that poison's really big. That poison's really big. Pollen Puff. I don't think they PowerPoint up their Astros, or I miscounted, but I'm pretty sure they've only went for 3, which means it's 6. Oh wait, were the Astral turns during where it had Mewtwo and Eternatus? Because that would count PowerPoints differently, right? That would be 3. Maybe they are out of Astrals. Oh, they might actually be out of Astrals. This is so silly. I think they are out of Astrals. Rain ends, but we're in a good spot. We can go for a Aura Spear Sludge Bomb double up into the Calyrex slot. Yeah, because if Calyrex stays in, it goes down to Sludge Bomb, and the Aura Spear gets redirected to Zama. If they try to switch into anything, that gets taken care of. Emit Bash. Yeah, not doing too much to Mewtwo. Aura Spear. Also, that's a really fast Zama because my Mewtwo is actually pretty fast, so that's definitely a very fast Zamazenta. Okay. I don't need my... Why did Amoonguss come in? Why did Amoonguss come in? I'm a bit worried, but we haven't seen the 3-minute timer yet. I think the place to always double protect. Unless they Pollen Puff here, then that's a mistake. They could Pollen Puff their Zama. But yeah, I was thinking it's either Protect Spore or they Rage Powder here. Because Aura Spear plus Sludge Bomb was always threatening the the Amoonguss slot. So I think I go for Terra Poison, Sludge Bomb, and Aura Spear. Okay, there's a 3-minute timer warning. Well, Aura Spear Sludge Bomb KOs anyway. And if they go POW, like the only way I lose is if they crit me. But then Terra Poison, Sludge Bomb. I mean, they're risking the POW on a Sludge Bomb, which I don't think it's worth. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Sludge Bomb, Aura Spear into the Amoonguss. Poison doesn't matter. Unless... Yeah, they don't have recovery. And they would have gotten it before. Because we knocked off its Rocky Helmet like way earlier in the game. We get rid of the Amoonguss. Okay. Nice. Game is still spooky, but very winnable. Like, this position's so much better now. We just have to ensure that they don't get a double knockout, and I think we're fine. Ow. Is healthy. Turns left into battle. I think it's always double protect this turn. Scout for the POW protect, and then it's Terra Poison, Sludge Bomb plus Aura Spear, I'm pretty sure. I think the way we lose this is a Crash Flinch on my Eternatus. So no protect from the POW. Is this Crash? Oh, it's Ice Spinner. That makes it so much better because I don't have to worry about the flinch chance. Okay. Oh, wait. Do I lose, actually? Oh, I could definitely lose. Because if they protect POW... Oh no, if they protect POW, I lose. I should have just Aura Speared. If they protect POW, I lose. But they might go aggressive for some reason. That was definitely a bad play. I definitely should have just Aura Speared. I want to scout for their protect. But I should have went for Terra Poison with my Eternatus, Sludge Bomb to POW, and Protect, because that gave me 2 chances to get the Sludge Bomb off. Oh, they attacked me too. Okay, no, I think I'm fine now. I think I'm fine. Because if they protect Behemoth Bash... Oh, I should have went for a double protect with Mewtwo, actually. Double protect with Mewtwo was always the play. Because if they do protect POW, at least I have a chance to get a double protect. So yeah, no, I kind of threw this endgame. But I do KO the POW. I get a crit. I have no idea if that mattered. But we do knock out the POW, and then it's Zamazenta versus Rillaboom and Eternatus, and I win. I messed up that endgame so much. I should have thought about the endgame a bit more. The play was to protect Terra Poison Sludge Bomb, and then the next turn was to double protect Sludge Bomb if the POW didn't get knocked out. Because the Zamazenta was a bit rough. But yeah, like I kind of realized that after. But we do win the game guaranteed now. Because timer will just set us, because we have 2 months to 1, and then we have Eternatus against the Zamazenta, so we would be able to win. That was just some mistakes, some silly mistakes towards the end, because I had a decent start, although the Shadow Rider was super scary in the middle, but thankfully it was slow. I don't know why it was slow. Like, what item is that Shadow Rider that was slow? I still don't get it, but I don't know. Mewtwo needs the help that I can get, man. All right, we have a Zacian Calyx Shadow Rider with Araquanid, Brubonnet, Tornadus, and Indeedee. All right, definitely going to be a bit of a strange one, but we can definitely pull through. Incineroar really good against this team, and I mean really good because Araquanid is not an Urshifu, so it's a lot easier to handle. So I will be bringing Incineroar. I bring Tinglu. Do I bring Tinglu or do I bring Eternatus? Eternatus is weird because it's probably expanding force on the Calyx Shadow Rider because they have an Indeedee. So I'm thinking maybe this is not an Eternatus angle. I think Incineroar is definitely being brought here. I don't think it's Flutter Mane. Like, Flutter Mane can put in work, but I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm going to go with Incineroar plus Mewtwo. Incineroar Mewtwo seems fine here. And then in the back, I want to bring Rillaboom, and I think I'm bringing the Tinglu. Not having an extra water resist kind of hurts. I guess I don't need an answer to Expanding Force. You know what? I'm bringing the Eternatus. I think Eternatus is just safer in general. Because even though I don't have a switch in a Spore, it probably works out better. We'll see how this goes because I'm not exactly too sure how this is going to manage, but we'll figure it out. We're going to see the lead combo of Calyx Indeedee. Okay, this is perfect because we do have a Rillaboom. And yeah, this is still pretty manageable. So I'm going to... Now the question is, do I expect it to be like a Terra Blast into my... into my Incineroar? Now that's a good question because I think that would be a bit tricky. They're not going to Expanding Force. They're either going to click Astral Barrage or they're going to click something else. We see the Psychic Seed on the Indeedee, which is fine. I have a few different options. I like the idea of potentially going for Fake Out into the Calyx and switching out into Rillaboom, which I don't get punished by much unless the Shadow Rider has Encore, but if it's Encore, that's really passive. Or if they just go for an Astral and click Follow Me, which I don't know if they're gonna do. I think it's okay, but I think Rillaboom just makes so much sense here. And I think they would really want to try to get the instant knockout, but we'll see. We do see a Terra. Yep. Okay, perfect. So this is Terra from the Calyx. We forced it immediately, which is great. Gonna be Terra Ground. Yep. So now it's weak to Rillaboom. So now I can go for a Wood Hammer / Grassy Glide and punish the Calyx. So this is looking pretty good here. Okay, nice. Yep, they went for like helping hand attacks. Yep. Yep, they always do this. So we get the Fake Out off into the Calyx. A pretty nice spot here. Okay. Pretty nice spot. Now we gotta position a little bit carefully, but I do like the idea of going for a Parting Shot into the Indeedee. And I think... Problem is I don't have Wood Hammer. I could Fake Out the Calyx, and I think I will Fake Out the Calyx and just Parting Shot because it's pretty safe. They switch out to Indeedee, which is fine. So whatever's coming is taking a Parting Shot. I like the Zacian taking a Parting Shot. It's not great for them. So this actually works out beautiful for me. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and if they protect, it's pretty passive. So this works out pretty well in my favor as we do get the Parting shot off into the Indeedee. I didn't want to parting shot the Calyx because there was a pretty decent chance that they protected, and they probably tried to maneuver with the Indeedee because it wasn't doing much there. So able to get the parting shot. Now they do threaten the expanding forest, but I still think that this is pretty reasonable because now I get to go out into Mewtwo and I get to click I think drum beating is always the play here. So we bring out the Mewtwo. Now the problem is it is a bit scripted to bring out Instant, but I still think it's my best play regardless. Yeah, so I'm going to go Instant and go for a drum beating into the Calyx. They do retreat to Zacian, so this is probably Indeedee because they are scared of the Woodhammer. This is probably expanding force coming out, which is going to hurt. That is going to hurt. So that's like the one downside to what I'm doing here is I'm about to take a lot of damage on my Rilla. So I could have went for like a Side Strike into the Calyx, but I was worried that they click Astral here, which they could still fairly click Astral in this position. But let's see if Rillaboom's got this with the drum beating. We do see an Astral, so this actually works out. We don't take a big expanding force as, yep, Rillaboom able to tank it, which is nice. Life Orb on the Calyx confirmed, and here comes the drum beating. If we had Woodhammer, we would have KO'd, but I don't think it's too bad a position. Oh, we just KO Calyx anyway. Okay. I underestimated drum beating's power. I really thought that wasn't going to KO, but I guess it is still super effective. So we do get rid of the Calyx, which is fantastic. Okay, awesome. Now we're probably going to see the Zacian come in. Yep, that's fine. Is it worth keeping Rillaboom around? I don't think it's necessary, but it could be helpful. I think my best play is just to double switch here into my restricteds. Yeah, because I like having the leftovers in the grassy terrain recovery and then switching instant. This could be like Helping Hand Sacred Sword into the instant slot. I guess I could go for Helping Hand Play Rough, but sure. Not really, like I have a switch for that anyway, and I do want instant around to intimidate the Zacian because it just makes the Zacian dealing with it so much easier. We'll bring out the Mewtwo and the Eternatus. Let's see what they decide. Helping Hand is going to come out. I wouldn't be surprised to see this being Sacred Sword. I think it makes a lot of sense. Or Play Rough. Yeah, Sacred Sword. Beautiful. Beautiful. Mewtwo able to switch in perfectly. And now we Cosmic Power. And now we Cosmic Power with Eternatus. Now gonna be forfeit because they kind of realize, oh, there's not really much I can do in this spot. I just get stalled out. So works out pretty well for me. Drum beating was really good there. I mean, it didn't really do much, but like that Woodhammer couldn't accomplish. But the fact that I was able to KO the Calyx, I think I just pivoted pretty well against them in general. And yeah, they didn't really hard punish, or they couldn't really, because even if they stayed in with Zacian and clicked Astro, right, the Human Blade at -1 wasn't going to KO the Rillaboom with Astral, so I was still getting the KO onto the Shadow Rider anyway. So I think like I positioned myself pretty well there. All right, we have Rillaboom, Incineroar, Urshifu, Zamazenta, Calyx, Shadow Rider, and the Raging Bolt. Okay. So, what do I want to go here? I think I just want to go with Incin. I want to go Eternatus. The problem is being made to Astral immediately, and I don't have the Terra is weird because I don't know which mon I'm going to Terra immediately. Probably the Mewtwo most likely, because Dragon Terra is actually good here, other than against the Raging Bolt, but I don't know if we bring Raging Bolt against this team. That's tricky to say. I just wish I had more pressure against Shadow Rider that I could fire off. That would be really nice here. I don't think this is a Flutter Mane game. I just get Grassy Glided or Thunderclap plus the Shadow Rider coming in. If we saw out the Astral Barrages, I don't have to Terra my Mewtwo, so that's the thing I also can note. I think I'm just going to go with Mewtwo plus Incineroar. I don't think it's too bad with Rillaboom and Eternatus back. Yeah, I think this is fine. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not exactly too confident here, because I'm trying to figure out like How do I exactly play around the Shadow Rider specifically? Because Body Press has a lot of PP, so I don't have to. So I do have to worry about that. But we're gonna see Incineroar plus Calyrex. Okay, is this Nasty Plot stuff? Probably, right? If it's Nasty Plot stuff, this is gonna be really tricky. Because I didn't bring Tinglu's, because Tinglu wasn't that good here. I live in Astral Barrage, probably. They're always gonna fake out the Ensign. I think I Side Strike. I don't think Astral Barrage KOs Mewtwo. I'm pretty sure, unless it's Life Orb. Could be a Life Orb on this team, which is the scary part. I think it's Rillaboom and swap here, because if they Nasty Plot, I'm just in such a bad spot. So I think it's just always worth to go into Rillaboom here. And I need damage on the Calyrex. Ooh, Terra's immediately. Terra are you going for? Dark Terra. Ah, so I could Aura Spear. But I need to set up for an Aura Spear specifically. Okay. Big O coming out into the Rillaboom. They just click Astral. Taking a lot of damage to Mewtwo. Do I go down to this? I don't. Okay. That's huge that I survive here. Because we get this... Because we're able to heal back a little bit. Just a bit. What's nice is Eternatus Sludge Bomb is actually looking pretty good here. Was that not Life Orb damage? Jeez. Okay. Incineroar's gonna do a lot. Trying to figure out how I maneuver this. I could Life do. I could go for Terra Dragon now. I just don't think there's an advantage to Terra. Actually, is there an advantage to Terra Dragon? Yeah, there is. I think I go for Life do, and I think I fake out the Ensign. Yeah, they always protect Callie and probably just try to Parting Shot. So that's what I expected here. Nice. So I get to heal back with some recovery, and now I actually have some health, which is really good for me. Okay. Now is this Encore Shadow Rider? Are they going to Encore my Rillaboom? Which definitely is possible. I think my play is just to always click Drum Beating into the Calyrex and protect the Mewtwo. Or I could go Instant. Instant isn't a bad play either. I kind of like the Instant play. Because it covers a Flare Blitz. But they don't usually run Flare Blitz, I feel. So I think I'm going to go for Drum Beating into Calyrex and protect. Because if I get the Drum Beating, that means my Mewtwo outspeeds, and then Aura Spear can put on pressure. The question is, I don't know if Aura Spear KOs because... I mean, I should do good damage with the Drum Beating and put in Aura Spear KO range because I'm not intimidated from the Incineroar. So I should be getting a good amount of damage with Drum Beating. We're going to protect our Mewtwo. As they go for Astral Barrage again. So that is... trying to figure out the count here. I'm pretty sure that's 4. Which is good. As we get the Drum Beating off. Yeah, really good damage. That puts in Aura Spear range 100%. Nice. As they go for Parting Shot, but this is acceptable. Into who? If it's Urshifu, I think I click Aura Spear and I swap to Instant. Because it covers like a lot of switches that they could go for. If it's Zamazenta, I don't Terra at all. If it's Zamazenta, that's fine, yeah. Because Mewtwo should be pretty healthy. I think Mewtwo's actually kind of deceptively heavy, so I don't think Heavy Slam does that much. If I'm not mistaken. So I'm just Aura Spearing the Calyrex and I'm swapping my Rillaboom into Eternatus. Or I could Grassy Glide to Calyrex and go for Life Dew. That also works. feel like I'd rather go for the Aura Spear play. I think I'd rather go for the Aura Spear play and just go to Eternatus. I think it's just so much safer. Because if they go Instant for some reason, then it's bad. Yeah, they swap out the Calyrex, so I still have Grassy Glide to threaten it later on in the game, which is good. Instant going to come in, but that's taking Aura Spear, which is nice. And now my Eternatus is in a really good spot, right? Because Eternatus is going to be able to do a ton of damage across the board to them. So this works out. I don't know, especially if Zamazenta goes for Body Press into the Rillaboom slot. Which I think they are, because I think they want to make sure that I don't have Grassy Glide available, but we'll see. Here comes Aura Spear into Mute or into Incineroar. That's actually some good damage. Why are you Iron Defense on the Zama? Oh, the fact it's Iron Defense Zama is actually bad. Okay. Yeah, why you Iron Defense Zamazenta? Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I'm gonna double the instant because they probably fake out a slot in. If they don't fake out, I get a KO. They fake out my Mewtwo, sure. I get the Sludge Bomb damage off, then I can go for Aura Spear plus Cosmic Power the next turn. I get a Poison. I don't think that's like super big impactful. Yeah, these body presses are gonna hurt. I don't have a switch to these body presses. Okay. I think Mewtwo lives one body press at +5 just because we have the resist factor. Just because we have the resist factor. So we're gonna go for Aura Spear and Cosmic Power. Grassy Terrain disappears. Yeah, if we had like Terra Ghost on Instant, this would be a really good spot, but we go for the Aura Spear, we go for the Cosmic Power. Because we need to set up against the Calyrex. Well, we need to, one, have Eternatus around. Like, Eternatus is really important to keep around. We get the Aura Spear KO on Instant, perfect. As they go for Body Press into the Mewtwo. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's why. I was like, I'm pretty sure Mewtwo should survive with the investment I had, but a crit. Okay. That makes way more sense to me. All right. This is looking pretty bad. We're going to go out into Rila. As they go Calyrex. I do threaten the Grassy Glide. I just don't know if they Encore here. So I could fake. It's either I fake out Eternatus or I Grassy Glide here. It really depends on if what I read from the Calyrex. But I think the play is just to fake out and go for a Sludge Bomb. Because they protect this turn. Okay, nice. I got to fake out in his Zamazenta. Sure, I could have went for the Cosmic Power, but I think that because I have the Sludge Bomb threat, it's actually pretty nice here. The fact that I'm just gonna get blown up by the body presses, aren't I? That's kind of like the weakness here, is that I didn't have. I think if we had Ghost Terra on Instant, this was pretty doable, but yeah, that changes a lot that they have Iron Defense. We're gonna go Instant. Is my entire game plan to bank on... Actually, I think my play is just to always Grassy Glide, Sludge Bomb the Calyrex. Hope that I can in the KO here. Wait, they gave me the Calyrex. That means no Encore. That's massive, actually. The fact that there's no Encore is massive. Okay, hold up. This might be doable. The problem is I can't hit Zamazenta. I can't hit Zamazenta, which is a huge problem because, like, I'm going to take a lot from the body presses and I don't think I'm going to be able to heal enough. And they probably just went on a timer. Rillaboom back. Okay. No, this is super winnable. Yeah, this is very winnable. I'm gonna go for Terra Grass because if Incin lives one body press, it's massive. I don't know who they're gonna fake out. They either fake out the Incin or they fake out this the Eternatus. I think both make sense. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Terra Grass. As they fake out the Incin, sure, yeah. Big Rocky Helmet. We get the Cosmic Power up, so now we're +2. We're gonna be +3 to the next. I just don't know if we'll have enough turns to win with Eternatus. Body press. I did survive. Oh. Then was the play to get the Wisp off earlier? It might have been. We're gonna go for the Wisp and we're gonna go for Cosmic Power. I mean, I don't think Eternatus can win on time. That's the problem. I don't think we can win on time. Wait. Hey, you turned? Was the play to go for the crit into Rila with Sludge Bomb, so I got the Wisp off? Maybe. I mean, the problem is they have chances to crit me. I can't crit them. I always spam the Cosmic Power while the terrain is active. I mean, they're going to run out of power points eventually, but the thing is... I don't know who wins between Eternatus and the Zama. But we always just spam Cosmic Power because Rillaboom can't do much. This is going to come down to a timer game. And I feel like I'm probably losing on timer. Granted, they don't have that many body presses they can go for. They've already gone for a few. Because one was against a pressure... How many do they have? They have like 5. Like 5 is gone, so they have 11 left, which means they only have 5 more body presses they can go into Eternatus. I mean, the body press is not doing anything anymore, and this Woodhammer is doing 1. Well, 8, but if Eternatus can win, I'll go for it. I mean, there's like what, 6 minutes on the timer. I think this is literally going to come down to just Eternatus versus Zamazenta, and then it just they're going to both be at full HP, and then who wins this. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case, unless they crit me. But they had to crit me with body press because I don't think the heavy slam crit is doing enough to Eternatus. So we'll see. We'll see. I really, really wish I got a Wisp off into the Zamazenta earlier. If I did, that would have been massive. That would have been massive. But yeah, that is the weakness of running the grass. I mean, here's the thing. Iron Defense would technically not be good into Eternatus. The problem is I don't have Flamethrower on this Eternatus set. I mean, we're just stacking. We're just stacking our boosts because we're going to be here for a bit. I am just going to go for the Cosmic Powers and then Sludge Bomb the Rila, and then I'm probably just going to cut away to like what like happens between the timer. Go for Cosmic Power. And I think this is +6, so then I can Sludge Bomb the Rila. I think I'll Protect first and then Sludge Bomb the Rila because they're going for body presses, which means that they're wasting power points. Like, I'm pretty sure they only have like 2 or 3 max with it. So this is fine because they really don't do any damage to Eternatus. Yeah, I'm like maxed out, so I can Protect and then Sludge Bomb. I also have Recover. I just realized I have Recover with my Eternatus as well. So like, yeah, I'm always going to be pretty much at near full HP regardless. It's going to come down to crit and like, again, just does Zamazenta have what's it called? Well, who wins the HP war between Zamazenta and everything else? I mean, we'll find out together because it's going to be based on HP. It'd be funny if it's a tie because I don't think I've gotten a tie on Stadium Ladder so far. In this format, at least. Or in this generation, I don't think so. Body Press is actually doing still a good amount of damage. They go for Woodhammer. Yeah, like again, I have Recover as well. So we're going to get the KO on Rillaboom, and then we're going to cut away to the end because, or I'm going to speed this part up one of the things that's going to happen, and then we'll figure it out. I don't know who wins this, which is why I'm still trying. Like, if I knew I was losing this guaranteed, I'd forfeit, but like, this is very winnable. So goodbye Rillaboom, and yeah, I think even if they crit once, like, I just spam recover. Like, they go for the extra iron defense. It's for the body press, but like, yeah. If I had flamethrower, man, this would be so much easier. If I had flamethrower. Or if I went for any damage into the Zama earlier, like if I aura speared the Zama earlier, that would have been massive, but yeah. But we'll cut away until something happens. Because yeah, the heavy slam, I'm healing back with black sludge. So yeah, the battle timer has ended. Let's see who wins. I win, because Eternatus just has that much more HP. Yeah, it's such a silly way to win, but like, yeah, I mean, if the battle didn't have a timer, my Eternatus wins because they are eventually going to run out of power points. I think they ran out of body presses and they're like almost out of heavy slams, and they have to go for wide guard protect. And I think I have more power points just because I have like still cosmic power and sludge bomb, just because of the pressure Eternatus had that literally was cutting their power points in half. I would have won that without timer, but we did have to play towards timer, and yeah, like Eternatus just wins, and that's just sometimes what this team has to do. Because it was built for a showdown. You're supposed to stall out. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Where a showdown has like infinite timer. Like here, we have a set timer, but they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do any damage to me. All right, most of the games I think can be summarized for the most part of I was just able to stall most of the games. Like the fact that I had to stall out the iron defense on the Zamazenta, or I had to stall out the Zamazenta that one game because it was iron defense, was a bit insane. And then there were just several games as well. I think the only one I really made a mistake in was the end game of like that Chen Pal one, because I really should have went for Protect with Mewtwo as well as a Terra Poison Sludge Bomb, and then go for Protect again, double Protect, because if the Chen Pal protected on the last turn of the game and the Zamazenta was able to KO my Mewtwo, it was game over for me. So yeah, that was definitely a mistake on my part. So that was the only one that like really stood out as a big mistake. I think there were some other things that could have happened, because for instance, we didn't face max speed Shadow Rider in one of the games, and it was slow with Encore, which I'm not sure too much on why, but that's what we encountered. So yeah, and really the stars of the show were really just Eternatus Mewtwo. They were able to tank attacks. Life Dew was actually pretty good on the Mewtwo because we were able to get a lot of recovery off the Life Dew in general. Eternatus, of course, was just able to bulk out matches. And yeah, Rillaboom and Incineroar were pretty good. The Tinglu, it was interesting in one game. We actually got to like spike that one time, but otherwise I don't think it was like generally worth it in general. And then Fluttermane we just never brought, so that's just how it went sometimes. But yeah, a lot of the games were just kind of like going down the timer and putting ourselves in the best position for winning on timer. So how was the team in general? It's a weird one. It makes a lot of sense when there is no overall in-game timer, but in-game timer, it definitely does affect several turns, because the team probably wins in a lot of cases in the long term, but in the short term, it could really depend on how well like it's positioned. Of course, timer stalling is a thing in the actual game. So really big props to Jamie Chen, who was able to go again 5-3 and get top 128, and was again one win away from making day 2 at the Utrecht special event. And I think this is Mewtwo's best placement at a tournament in generation 9 at least so far. So really big props to, if there is the original creator who made this team as well and used it to get number 1 in Showdown, and probably there are a lot of pitchforks at that one as well. But yeah, it was definitely interesting, and it was kind of cool seeing Mewtwo actually be able to tank attacks, because normally this Pokemon you would assume is pretty frail, but it actually was able to take a lot of attacks and heal back consistently. If you would like to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. It is only going to be available for 1 week from this video's release, so make sure you try it out while you can. But otherwise, you can check out the details of the team down below in the description, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.